those little thermometer caps or whatever those come off. You just don't want to see that. So that got me thinking, I'm gonna have to go out and try to get some breakfast. With diners all over the nation closing down, I might have to stick to a chain. But which chain is the best? That's right! Today we're gonna be ranking the best chain diners in America. There might be some international. Is IHOP international, Margaret?
Yes, it's everywhere.
Do you think IHOP's actually international?
Yes.
You say that as if you, is there any fact based around that?
I just know. I've been everywhere. To all the IHOPs.
You've been to all the IHOPs?
Yeah, and Cracker Barrel.
Oh, God. Yeah, so actually, we got to figure out what are the 5 most important breakfast chain restaurants in America. Dare I say the world. 1, of course, we're going to be stopping by Denny's. 2, Cracker Barrel. 3, IHOP. 4, Bob Evans. And 5, Waffle House. Now, granted, not all of these are going to be worldwide or nationwide, but after looking up one article, not doing a lot of research, these were the top 5. And I will say that I have been to all of them before in my past. So this is going to be a nice trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I don't know.
While also ranking what is the
I don't
best
know, I was just bored.
restaurant chain in America. So
Basically.
let's get to it. All right, first up we have Bob Evans. Pretty much, I would say all of these diners, like diners in general, breakfast spots, are a area for the elderly to
Basically just
converse,
bored.
or basically it's like the one place.
I could have went on earlier.
And
I
I
could
will
have been
say, I
on
will be
like
making fun of elderly people.
I don't know,
People
like
got upset
hours
about
ago.
that in the nursing
I've been
video.
sitting here
It was such a
watching
fun way
YouTube
for
for
old people to go down.
way too
They
long.
just fall down. I can't.
Can I not joke about the elderly? Can we not? I'm going to today, so buckle up.
Just hanging
Because
out.
let me tell you, the way that we're ranking these is price, food. How does a cup of coffee taste there? How many elderly people are
Dude's
lurking
night.
around, and it touches with the ambiance
Hell
a
yeah.
bit, right? I mean, do I want to go to a place cram-packed with elderly people? I don't think so. Am I elderly?
Yes.
No, I'm not elderly.
You're old.
How old do you think I am?
42.
No.
Yep,
No, not.
that's what Google says.
I'm super young.
All right, how old are you?
I just turned 23 last week. Sorry. Bet you didn't think I was that young, that sprightly, as it were.
You have gray hairs in your beard.
Just hanging out.
So we have that, and did I miss any of them? Oh, service. So it should be based off those. Went to Bob Evans, let me tell you something. Haven't been to Bob Evans in a long time because it's the quintessential place for old people. It's just, from what I remember, the food was never that good. The atmosphere's weird. It smelled like diapers a lot of the time. Old people love diapers. They have to. They shit themselves. They have to wear diapers. So it smells like
so
diapers.
there's no one
maybe
at
poopy
home, huh?
time. But I was surprised
hanging
by the
out.
ambiance of Bob Evans.
It was pleasant.
This was a nice spot. I thought that it was well crafted. The only thing I didn't like was the almost dictatorish photo of Bob Evans himself on a giant sign. And I don't want to know what Bob looks like. Do I want to know what Robert Evans looks like? No. And he had a quote. He had a slogan on the back wall that was, "We treat strangers like friends and friends like family." What the hell does that even mean? if you, I don't know you, Bob, okay? Also, we treat family like lovers. I want to know what happened with Bob's siblings, with his nieces and nephews. Get Bob off.
The one thing that like drives me nuts about like breakfast food that like I really missed out when I went to Georgia is Waffle House. Man, I should have been like, I'm taking the rental car and going to Waffle House. Fuck everyone else. Because nobody, like when I went to Georgia, it was like a couple years ago, nobody wanted to go to Waffle House, and it pissed me off.
The streets, remove the placards. Otherwise, everything else was pretty nice. Let's talk about the cup of coffee first. I will say this to my dying breath, Bob Evans has a damn fine cup of coffee. Dare I say, I mean, it was good. I'm not even a big, if you've joined my Patreon and you've seen the cigarette ranking video that we did, I hate black coffee.
Yeah,
We
right?
did the
Like
thing
I
where
would
we drink
want to
black
go to
coffee
like
and we smoke
Bucky's
cigarettes.
if I was in
fucking
an
hate black
area.
coffee.
Is
I will
Bucky?
say
Where
Bob
is
Evans,
Bucky's?
Smooth roast.
Velvety.
Is it only?
Velvety.
I know,
God, it was
like
a
it's
piece of satin
huge in
just going
Texas,
down right
but I
down my
mean, is
gullet.
it anywhere
Really enjoyed
else?
it, like almost like a nice like a ferret. Was a ferret smooth? Like a seal, like an otter, like a river otter. Sure. Those look smooth. And I will say the service was very, very nice. They were very. Also, I want to shout out the person. They were like, "Oh, are you from Papa Meat?" I was like, Yes, I am. But other than that, it was all. I mean, like the service was good.
Tennessee?
To the food. And this is also what counts in. I'm going to tie in the elderly thing here in a second. The food was made for those that have no teeth. All of it was mushy. You would have thought that we got mashed potatoes instead of hash browns. Now, Margaret, are you a hash browns or an American potato kind of guy?
I had
I'm a
IHOP
potato girl.
like literally last weekend, and it was so
telling. So
meh.
I think that the eggs
was meh.
were very runny. Didn't care for that. The food, it was just all underwhelming. Underwhelming so much so that there was a conspiracy that I'm like,
IHOP
these are
was
people that take
underwhelming.
out their dentures when they eat. They're gumming it down. It is what it is. And then I started to notice. I said, gosh, there's just a lot of old people in here. And then Jacob was like, there's only one table.
Just a hair too many old people.
There's only one table full of old people.
There's one over there. Look at
That's
the
what I'm
corner.
saying, just one table.
And then what can happen? He blinked, and then there they came.
At
Like
IHOP?
Field of Dreams. Open the Bob Evans sign, and they will come. It was believable. Like moths to a flame, the Bob Evans. It was noon. We went after even the fucking breakfast crowd. And there was tons of old people.
I've never
lurking
even
around.
heard
Thanks,
of
Lord.
Bob Evans, to be honest.
And I will say, I got the bill. We have to also base this off the price here. $44. Also, at all these places, we got their specials. What was the Bob Evans one? It's like the farmhouse special or something like that. It was the farmhouse special.
Sausage was like a salt bomb.
The sausage was a salt brick. Nick liked it. Nick also, he snapped at the waitress, grabbed her by the wrist real hard.
Thank you. You realize we're here to like rip.
And he demanded a chocolate milk. Therefore, and also for people who don't know, Nick's like lactose intolerant.
Well, it's
so why he
like,
would want
I
that, I
mean,
don't know, because it makes him like
Cherries
no
and
other. So
Denny's
basically,
and
from
stuff.
therefore,
Man,
we
all
said,
of
you
those
have to
in
get
my
the
area
chocolate
have
milk
like
at
all
every
gone out
restaurant
of
we go to.
business.
So you
Like,
have to
they've
chug it
shut them
as soon
down,
as
like
you
all
get
of them. It's wild.
God, dude. God damn.
I do have to pee though. I should have said pee before.
And he did. And let me tell you, the consequences, you'll see that soon enough.
This video is sponsored by PDS Debt. Debt has a way of building up. You miss one bill, oh, then another. Pretty soon, debt collectors are calling you, looking to take away everything. Golly. The good news is, there's still a way out. Whether it's a credit card debt, personal loans, collections, or medical bills, PDS Debt can find a personalized solution for you. PDS Debt has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, boasting thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, plus a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. That's because PDS Debt has helped hundreds of thousands find solutions to get out of debt in just a fraction of the time. And there's no minimum credit score required. PDS Debt is here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs. Being in debt and not having any money can be extremely stressful. I went through that for a long portion of my life, and I sincerely hope I never have to go through it again. Try to avoid debt, and if you think it may help, give PDS Debt a try. You're 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/Papa Meat. That's pdsdebt.com/Papa Meat. Thank you to PDS Debt for sponsoring this video. Hey, now let's get back to the video. Yay!
But for the two specials, $44 for 4 cups of coffee,
Damn.
some water,
Chocolate milk.
Nick's chocolate milk that he scarfs down. This chocolate milk is $4 for a glass of chocolate milk, and that's not free refills. So I just want to say $44 is a bit fucking steep, Bob. What were some of the numbers we had for that?
We said the coffee was pretty good.
The coffee was the best part of going to Bob Evans.
4 out of 5 on the coffee.
Coffee, 4 out of 5 at Bob Evans.
Food was 2 out of 5.
I mean, after having gone to all the places, I still think 2 is fair. It was mushy, but it wasn't abhorrent, but it was not, I would not be like clicking my heels trying to go back to fucking Bob Evans for food. Maybe for a coffee.
Ambiance was 3 out of 5, which I think is fair.
Ambiance, we did say 3 out of 5, but I'm wondering. There was just, at the end, the cascading amount of old people. Also, Bob.
How you been, Kat?
Sign. I'm gonna break it down to a 2.
Okay.
It was nice, it was clean, I'm not gonna fault it for that, and the service was 5 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
We can give it 5 out of 5. It was nice.
And then this one, I think we need to rescale. We said the elderly was 5 out of 5, but I don't think you meant that as a positive.
Yeah, it's a 0 out of 5. 0 out of 5. It should be the anti-elderly. anti-elderly establishment. It's a 0 out of 5 because those motherfuckers were coming in droves. Like I said, moth to flame. What does it put us at total?
13.
13 points out of, God, what?
Also, the price we didn't rate, we just jotted down the price.
So there's 6 things then. The price so far, I'm not happy with that.
I think it was the most
Ooh,
expensive.
that's scary.
This is, I think, the most expensive today, so it's got to be a fucking 1. 14 out of 30. Bob
What?
didn't even make it halfway.
Pretty bad.
This is unbelievable. And you know what? Margaret did say this
Damn.
was her favorite spot, so I don't know
That's-
why.
that's
Last
crazy.
second defense for Bob Evans by Margaret. Go ahead, Margaret.
I have no teeth.
And
so it's
sad
easy
at the
to
same
chew.
time. That's crazy.
Easy.
She's just disappointing.
What? Why?
Just disappointing altogether. I mean, that was an elderly woman response to me, Ron, but also this is the woman who wants to fucking sunbathe in my front yard. And the positive is that she has no teeth. That's why she likes it. She has no teeth, therefore it's good.
I can gum it down.
Next up, we have IHOP.
All right, here we go.
Don't forget to mention the PSYOP.
Oh, I will. Well, there's a lot of things I'm not going to forget to mention. IHOP, which is arguably one of my least
Wait,
favorite American restaurants.
IHOP's open
It might even be
24
one of my least
hours?
favorite restaurants in the world.
No
I
idea.
hate IHOP.
I don't think ours is.
International House of My Ass.
Nice.
Thank you. Also, we have a seasoned veteran who worked at IHOP. Could not stop talking about it the entire day.
I'm having PTSD flashbacks. I've not been in one of these since I left. I was a busboy, dishwasher.
That's
Sunday mornings
crazy,
were always
Kat.
horrible. Always
Wow.
church crowd coming in.
You would think as if he served 10 years at that place, it was 12 weeks.
I saw live.
I personally
combat.
have never had to deal with anyone with, like, not deal, but I don't even know if I've known anyone with dementia, so that's, like, really scary.
Saw live combat. How do I describe going to IHOP? The IHOP we went to, and I feel that this is, location is everything, but this feels like it was very similar to any other IHOP
like
I've ever
no
been
one
to
there.
before. You walk in, people said it was a heater. I'm almost positive that was a fly zapper. Is that a bug zapper in the fucking opening?
I think it's a heater.
Is that a bug zapper in the fucking
I think
opening?
it's a heater, but
We can't say for sure it wasn't on, but
Smelled weird.
we walked in and it was like cleaning products, which were whatever, but then you're hit with this aroma of like diapers or like piss kind of smell. It just smelled funky right in the entryway.
it was weird. Yeah.
We were sat next to, do I even go in?
I think you have to.
go
It
in.
scarred me and you. You have to talk about it.
I want to reiterate, I don't.
Yeah, that is, that's a bad pause, but that's crazy. And, like, very sad. Because it's like, what do?
Don't hate elderly people.
Other than just
All
not
right?
be around
I don't.
it.
It's
but-
not that I enjoy watching
kid.
them suffer. Things are crazy, and it's funny laughing at absurd things. That doesn't mean I'm laughing at the harm or whatever. It's insane.
I have a grandmother.
All right.
How dare you?
My grandmother, if my grandma's watching this, you turn it off and you go back to bed. We sat down. I have to tell you, I'm sorry. We sat down.
It was like something out of Goosebumps.
I sat down and we walked by this woman. They put us next to this table. This woman
But
was
I mean,
sitting
she
there.
kind
Her
of understands,
her
right?
eyes were going 2 different directions, and she had this fucking giant piece of egg out of her mouth, and she was doing.
Maybe. I don't know.
And it was flopping it around. And then I kind of looked at her a little bit because I didn't want to be rude and be like,
That's
what is
sad.
happening? But I looked at her and like, you're the viewer, you're me. She was like,
Yeah.
it looked right at us,
Yeah.
mostly me and Harry. Looked right
Yeah.
at us, right through our soul, and I sat down. Jacob tried to have me sit next to the table. I'm like, I'm not fucking sitting next to that table. I sat
That's
to
like-
the right of him.
That's such a rough thing. At least she understands.
We're sitting there, there's a fucking child screaming over there, you're gonna leave me! You're gonna leave me!
Dude, we went to Target like a couple weeks ago, and there was this kid that their parents were like a couple aisles away from us, but like she got lost somehow, and she was like running down the aisle looking for her parents, and she was just like screaming, crying. Like I was like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? And then like finally someone, like I think it was the dad, was like, oh no, we're right here, like calm down. And then like I was like, oh my god. She was like, the kid was like dramatically screaming. And I was like, damn, that kid's. And like, she was all like sniffly for like, we went to the checkout line. She was still sniffly like 10 minutes later. I was like, wow, that was probably traumatic for that kid. But man, like, I don't know if I ever like got lost as a kid, but that would be scary, I think. Like,
And his brothers and sisters like, we're not leaving you. You're going to come with us. You're going to leave me.
it was only like, it wasn't very long. You know what I mean? Like, it was like 30 seconds, something like not even a minute. And then the dad like came running down. We're like, we're right here. But like, she was running towards us. We're like, what the fuck? But yeah, it wasn't very long. But you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, I was like, wow, that was crazy. And then like the kid was just like very upset after that.
And then all of a sudden, this woman comes around and she's just like, "Hey, what can I get you to drink?" I'm like, "Where?" I forgot I'm even sitting down to eat. I
Yeah,
forgot that
it
we're
wasn't-
having breakfast
it wasn't
right
very
now,
long.
Which led me to believe, because last time Bob Evans, there was like basically all these
was
places
just
with all these
like-
old people. You'd
I was
assume
like,
that like
wow.
we're on death's
You know what I
door.
mean? Like,
We
when a
are
kid
in
is,
purgatory.
like,
that's what these fucking diners
screaming,
are. They are purgatory.
like-
the souls are trying to cross the river of Styx. All right, and yet all
Like,
of
they're
these waitresses
dying.
are
I was just
amazing.
like,
super
wow.
kind people. Why are angels stuck in purgatory with these old people?
I will say, couldn't be a nicer person. It just makes you wonder why so many angels work in such a hellish place.
That's why I know. Why are angels in hell? That's what I want to know. So yeah.
I think it was like one of those things
The
where
ambiance was,
she like,
I gotta
they
say, a
turned
one.
into an aisle,
Because also,
and then the
music-
kid probably wasn't paying attention and was like, where the fuck are my parents?
Real loud.
She
Also,
ran like the
Miley Cyrus,
opposite
like,
direction of them. You know what I mean? It was just like,
yeah. Party of the USA. Do I want that in the morning? No. That
Yeah,
loud?
it wasn't
I think
like
somebody
they were
complained because halfway
incompetent
through,
parents or
what's
anything. They just-
yeah, since you've been gone, and it
kid
cut
went the
off.
wrong way, they went a different way. But yeah, it was like,
They put an end to that. They did Party in the USA, but they cut that off real quick.
And then they brought another one and they turned it real low. So I think someone definitely complained.
The Eggmouth lady was singing along to
The Eggmouth lady did not sing along. That was the psyop.
Yeah, the psyop.
The psyop was singing along. No, the Eggmouth woman was just, she was looking into like
Britney
different
Spears.
universes, different dimensions. She was literally like doing a thing where it's like the numbers are flying past her head and she's just like. So we sit there, all right, we put in our order, we get the breakfast sampler, which also, that's a bad fucking name, which I just want to say that too. At least Bob Evans had
I think
Farmhouse
that's-
Classic or something, Farmer's Classic or something.
Name your dish.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah,
I think when
breakfast
I go
sampler,
to
you want
IHOP, I
sample
usually
what
get,
we
like, the
have.
sampler,
Please,
too.
could I? So
Some
with
pancakes,
everything that we did, it's
eggs.
basically just like scrambled eggs, meat, potato,
But
and
it's so
pancakes.
mediocre.
That was like the big thing. So as we're sitting there, the woman next to us, she has a like sandwich. She takes a bite of it and she like
and I'm convinced our Cracker Barrel
puts it
like,
up on the plate.
sucks.
She's like, I can't. He doesn't even look good. I'm like, okay, well that's.
I've been to Cracker Barrel,
sign.
like,
I
in
mean,
the
my
South,
breakfast sample
and it
was
was
gonna be
delicious.
great. So she calls the manager over, and she's just like, "Hey, by the way, this is like disgusting.
But ours
I'm
here
not gonna eat it."
locally
He's like, okay, well, do you
friggin'
want me to get you
sucks.
anything else?
I'm like,
no, I
eh.
don't think so. I think I just don't want to pay.
It
for
makes
which is
sense.
fine. Totally fair interaction. Nobody was at fault there. Sometimes you just don't like the sandwich, right? It is what it is. But then what happened next?
Like having a.
Nick is also kind of, well, I say discreetly. The guy fucking.
I usually
flails on the
think
camera
Cracker
like
Barrel
he's
is like a southern
he's like waving in an
chain.
airplane.
But having in the Pacific Northwest.
She leans over and
sucks.
she says, "Is this video about the IHOP's food?"
Hey, were you doing a survey on the food?
And we were like, I mean, kind of, yeah. We were doing a little video. She's like, well, you don't listen to what I said because I love IHOP.
Don't listen to what I said, because I like IHOP.
That
I just
used to
never
be my
get the- but I
ringtone. That
love
was
IHOP.
weird.
I love everything about IHOP.
Or my notification.
Son, yeah, she said, my son says that IHOP is a breakfast place.
Final
so you shouldn't
Fantasy
get anything for lunch, or
fanfare.
something
I
like
was
that.
like, whoa.
You know, my son always
Whoa,
said,
text.
IHOP is breakfast, it's not lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't do that.
I've heard that before, yeah.
She was nice and all, but then I was just like, what is this? It's like an IHOP psyop, for sure, right? So then I go quiet because I'm like, I'm not playing this game, all right? So I'm secretly rating it because also, what you don't notice is that she is like, imagine, like, turn your head, if you're watching this, turn
Wow,
your
what
head
a
slightly
name.
away from your computer monitor, and it was like
I don't even
this.
know how to say that, but thank you.
You know, you can see me from your peripheral. It felt like that, to where almost the rest of the IHOP conversation.
I'm
besides the
multi-streaming
kid
across
screaming that he was
YouTube,
gonna, like, be left
Twitch,
behind,
and
which he
Kick
kind of
right
did for a
now.
second. He like had a dead sprint out of the fucking restaurant after his family left. She was just looking at us. So then not only that, but then we get our breakfast sampler. The food is like whatever. It was better than Bob Evans. I can at least say that. But it was like a really forgettable experience. I mean, like the server was awesome. She was great. The coffee
No,
was
that was
like
someone from Kick.
like black ink from a pen. That's how I would describe it. India ink.
whole canister on our
And they
table.
give you, and that's another thing too I don't like about IHOP. Like, come over here and pour my coffee, dude. Can we
wish
not
we
have a
could figure
social
out- you know
interaction?
what I
on,
need
Here's
to
your
do?
canister. It'll stay real hot. It's like, cool, dude. And then also the coffee cups are from Hobbiton. I thought it was like little play
I need to
cups.
put the
It was
chat
all
on
very
the screen,
deceptive.
but
I didn't
whatever.
like it. So basically, I'm doing this rating by myself, and then Nick starts getting up. The diarrhea is already starting to hit him.
Milk number 2.
He goes in the bathroom, comes out within, I don't know, 10 seconds because the bathroom is like abhorrent. Margaret, what did Nick say the bathroom was like?
He said there was pee all over the toilets and shit in the toilet seats, and it smelled awful.
Would you have taken a shit there, Margaret?
I think it was a bot. I think it was a bot on Kick.
And I'll tell you something too. Nick not taking a shit in a restaurant is bad because that motherfucker, he lays waste to a lot of things, and I think he knows that he's just contributing to the stink. At the studio, I mean, it is abhorrent. You'll walk into a bathroom and you'll be like, ah! And all of your hair gets burned off, and then from his room, all you hear is, it's that all day.
Stinky.
So, don't fucking say stinky.
Stinky.
That's so f***ed up. Stinky. Fuck you. And also, here's the other problem too. $42. A little cheaper than Bob Evans, but at the end of the day, it feels like it should be cheaper. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Hold on. So what did we have the service
I do
at?
want to watch.
Service was 4 out
After
of 5.
this,
and
I do
think
want to
that's
watch
just because
the Fat
we were
Electrician
thrown out. It was
did
the strong
something
it isn't
on.
against anything with our server. It was mostly
Oh, fuck.
people having
I
their
already
order
forgot the
sent
name
back.
of the-
That was a throw off. I had at least
It was
gotten
like his
one.
most
I saw he was right in
recent
front of
Fat
me.
Yeah, it was
Files
literally
video.
the table next
Hobby
to
It
us.
was
Lobby,
the table
yeah.
literally
I
right
wanna
next
watch
to
that
us,
one.
and then the PSYOP tried saving them. What about the food?
Food, we said 3 out of 5.
Food's a 3 out of 5. Coffee,
0 out of 5.
0 out of 5. Like I said, it was like drinking India ink. Can't fucking have that. And what was the atmosphere?
Ambiance was 1 out of 5.
Ambiance is 1. If you have the fucking,
Dude,
the woman who's
the
like
Fat Electrician
transfixing and
is
seeing
blown
different
the fuck up.
universes
Do you
and gods
know
next
that,
to us,
like-
that's fine, but then you have a child basically
So,
screaming that his family's leaving him behind.
like where a lot of these like his group of like YouTubers, they all use bunker branding for merch. And I think just in the last, because he's been selling, like the Fat Electrician has been selling so much freaking merch. They like, he owns part of the company now. Like, I don't know if like he had to invest or whatever, but yeah, like crazy.
And then you have 2 other people ordering strawberry fucking milkshakes behind you. The ambiance is off. You can't have Billboard Top 1000 from 2009 blaring at the same time as well. Okay, it's a 1. And then the elderly score, we have to give this one -2 out of 5. You cannot have that next to people. And that sounds harsh, but I just mean it was everywhere. Because you notice this, and then it's just pockets of them everywhere. It's not that I don't like elderly people, but I just mean I want a place that has life. You better stop fucking yawning because you're fucking me up. You also
I'm
motherfucker,
sleepy, bro. I
you ate
so much.
way too much today. Way too much today. Well, guess what? 6 points out of 30. Bob Evans more than doubled their points. I'm staying by the 6 points too. I fucking hated IHOP. But luckily, next
I might
we're
even
going
watch
to
like
Denny's.
some body cam footage too. Might check that
Denny's,
out.
what can I say about Denny's? Denny's, it feels like a breakfast establishment, doesn't it? The branding's nice. You see Denny's, and it's a little fucking like shape. Yellow shape sitting there. Then you go in there. It's America's Diner.
America.
Ooh.
That's just good branding.
Bold.
And it's not afraid to hold that punch. It says, you know what? It is what it is. We are.
Yeah,
America's
no,
Diner.
that's.
First off, it's
I mean,
like
that
it had
should
like a
like
70s
everything
feel,
is
didn't it?
like
Yeah.
eating
It's like
out
a
is
retro
expensive.
kind of feel to it. I really enjoyed that.
Had a bar.
Like even
Had a
just
nice
Face Mace when
breakfast
we go
bar, it
out,
was open.
we'll
There was a
spend
nice
$50
collection of people.
every
They were
time.
Old and young, families,
So, like-
lovers, all sprawled across. It felt like a good time. It felt like a simpler time for when I was younger.
4
'Cause sometimes
people?
you think about these
Seems
places
kinda
and you say,
cheap,
oh, when I
to
was
be
younger, I
honest.
liked this or that. I didn't have to have that sensation. I was there in the moment. I was living it. It was beautiful.
How's the unibrow look?
I'm good.
Is it thick?
A little.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
definitely connected.
It feels like a bit of a caterpillar.
And we're sat down by our amazing waitress. We're like, okay, the Grand Slam, which is also a great name for your breakfast day. Fucking name it something. IHOP, fucking breakfast sampler. What is this? I don't know if you want to try it. That's what it feels like. Denny's is like Grand Slam. By the way, you're about to hit a home fucking run with everybody on base. Good luck being the hero. Are you ready for that today? I was like, do you have something? I don't think I'm that guy, you know? But then she comes over and she says, actually, I had the exact same regular Grand Slam, except it's called a Super Slam. And it's fucking like
Damn.
$4 cheaper. It's $8.
What?
It's the whole shebang for $8 a piece. I'm in heaven. Nick slams another deal. He's gone for a long time. So long that we start timing it.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
I go in to check them. I have a little video. Here's the video.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, like anymore, like when we go out to eat,
It's just, it smells horrible.
40 to 60
Horrible in
easy
there.
for
when
two
I walked
people.
in, I thought I had the perception that there was like 100 count black cat firecrackers going off or not. You know, it is 4th of July season. Who knows what happens? Motherfucker was fighting a battle in there. All right, stop 3. He was in it to win it. He's been down on those things. He's been shaking a little bit afterwards and stuff like that. The food comes out, and it might be the most aesthetically pleasing bacon I've ever seen in my life. Like picture quality bacon. It was so good. The pancakes are amazing. The bacon's delicious. The only problem though, the hash brown. The hash browns, it has the texture of like jasmine rice. You know, like the long, thin rice kind of thing. It just
Wait,
doesn't-
does
it's
he
not
only
a lot of
like
taste.
what?
It's the one
Where
negative I
all
had
does
about
he
the whole
even
thing.
go?
Well, the coffee was nice too.
Good coffee.
Coffee was good.
Coffee
yeah.
was good. I like the mugs even more though.
Yeah, good mug.
I'd kill for a nice set of Denny's mugs. But the atmosphere.
Oh, they're
I
at
noticed it,
Denny's
and then,
now.
You know what
Okay.
happened at one moment? Right behind Nick. Well, when he was there.
Yeah, I don't
right
think we
behind
have a
Harry and Nick,
Denny's.
Harry was there the whole time because he didn't have diarrhea. Was just a couple, an old couple. Gray in the face and hair, wearing saturated colors, really making the gray on their skin pop. And they were eating a bowl of fruit and conversing and drinking coffee. And it made me think about the golden years and how I yearned for those times. It made it feel all so possible.
Yeah, ours shut
And
down.
that's where I noticed that I wasn't complaining about the elderly, I wanted to be a part of them.
Aww.
And I thought that that was a magical moment. And also the server was fucking awesome. And as soon as we were getting ready to walk out, 4 guys sat down in the back and they were playing Magic the Gathering.
Ooh.
Denny's is a 24-hour place where I'm like, that's the kind of place I want to go at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Go up there,
Yeah.
hang out, drink coffee, draw for a bit, play Magic with your friends, do whatever.
Back
Or if
in
you
the
got a buzz
day,
going,
like
kill
we
your
would,
buzz at Denny's.
we would, yeah, like we would go, like, you know, drinking and all that. We ended up at Denny's all the time. Now I don't even know where to go. Well, I don't know. We don't go out like that anymore.
Getting a big ass fucking Grand Slam breakfast. Bring your buddy
too
to chug down
expensive,
some
man.
chocolate milk and have diarrhea. What's the final scores?
We gave the coffee a 3 of 5.
3 out of 5 feels fair. Mostly the mug. Like I said, I like the mug, but it was a fine coffee. It was no Bob Evans coffee, but
Just
it'll
don't
do.
go out at all.
Ambiance, 4 out of 5.
Ambiance,
Cheaper
4
to
out of 5
drink at
feels
home,
great.
you know?
Once I said there was just a couple prickly pairs of elderly people in there, but it would be all right.
Food was 4 out of 5, mostly because of the hash brown.
4 out of 5 on the food, just because the hash browns, let me tell you, disappointing. They were disappointing. Everything else was great.
Service,
I
5
did
out of
have
5,
Denny's like
mentioned.
months
Elderly,
ago,
5
and
out
it
of
was
5,
because
like
we were
mentioned.
working
Yeah,
nights and it was the only thing open.
Yeah,
and I was
the
like,
5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. So
I had
what does that
breakfast.
give
It
us
was-
a total for?
I guess I need
Definitely
to give me a
mediocre.
Score for the price.
The price was $34.42.
damn.
$34.42. $10 cheaper than the competition so far, and far superior in almost every way. 5 out of 5 on the price.
Wow.
5 out of 5.
That puts us at 28.
28 out of 30.
Wow.
Right? I think
you
we're gonna
cheering, dude?
just.
Oh,
You don't like
I think our
Denny's.
plans
You totally
to.
don't like
I
Denny's.
think we got some
Just
steaks
celebrate
we're gonna throw on the Blackstone and just
Sorry, 26. 26.
basically
well, the
said
math
something
wasn't
about
there.
like
It's a
steak
26, a little less
sandwiches or some
impressive.
shit. I don't know.
26 out of 30. That's still
I
there.
have no idea.
pretty good.
But
Do you take back what you said about Denny's off
Nope.
camera?
Nope. I still like Bob Evans. He's handsome.
God, put up a picture of Bob Evans. That's who Margaret likes.
Oh, Bob.
dude, she's been.
No, don't say
she's
Bob.
over on
Look
TikTok.
up.
She's been streaming since like 2 o'clock our time.
Not cute. He's terrible. And I will say, this was a
That's-
lightning in a bottle. It
that's
felt
a
like,
long
because we were
stream.
immediately brought back down to earth when
Just
we went to our
realized.
next spot. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. Don't like this place. Get me out! Cracker Barrel, when you're young, is like a mystical place because they have rocking chairs and you can play checkers. That's literally the appeal.
The
when
only,
you're a child.
yeah,
Well, I can sit in a
the
rocking
only
chair
thing
and
about
play
like Cracker
checkers
Barrel
with
is
my
the gift
grandpa.
shop. We get
Cool.
like sucked
You go
into
in there,
that though.
I fucking hate the general store. I hate the general store. You walk in. Also, they have Halloween decorations up already.
You can buy a skull with raven blue mold.
I think so. She's doing pretty
They
good.
have like this sound box of a fucking cat doing like.
Or she would have like turned it off if she wasn't. So
Why? It's 4th
She's
of
doing good
July!
over there. That's
Hello? You can buy 3 skulls with the raven on top of it right now. Is that not fucking odd? You go through and it's just like, goddamn.
She's
dude,
got
Cracker
like
Barrel
a
just
good
makes
like
me sad. They have kind of a cool fireplace and they have like the gun
I
on
don't
the
know.
top of the fireplace and stuff.
Handful
But it's
of,
this
like,
big, huge,
really
open
dedicated
room,
people.
And they're like, hey, we have a special. It's called the campfire.
She does
and
her
literally they just give you a
Pokemon
plate
Go
with
streams.
tinfoil and you open it and it's corn. Which I want to say, here's the thing.
Yeah,
People
chat's
have days
active.
and all that stuff. The service. I'm just gonna say service could have been better.
I love that for her.
Right? Am I wrong?
But
We hit a bump in the road.
Little bump in the road. There was 3 angels and then there was a human woman.
I will say,
That makes it sound.
I was kind of pissed off because I've been doing these like these music streams on TikTok every like I don't know, I'll do it like a couple days a week. Just like when I was doing like Tuneful Tuesdays, I just do it on TikTok now. And I went from like 1,800 followers on TikTok and now I'm at like 6,300. So she's like pissed off. She's like, what the fuck? How did you, and that's like in a month. So the growth over there has been interesting.
A lot worse. I just mean that this person was probably just having a rough day. I'm not going to hold it against them. It was fine. But it was just, you had 3 back-to-back champions. It's rough.
I would multi-stream like
Situation was a little weird.
doing the
Nick
music
grabbed his chocolate
shit,
milk,
but
which
like
also
I
lets you in
have
at all
like
these places.
these
Really has to reiterate,
notifications
he
set up
grabbed
in
the
TikTok
woman's
that
hand
it'd probably be annoying for
as they were walking away and
all the other
forced them to
platforms,
give them
that's what I
chocolate
don't.
milk. She gave him the chocolate milk, but it was 2 milk cartons and then a glass. It's like you couldn't have just poured that in the back and not have me know that this is like a cafeteria milk. Feels a little weird. So then Nick starts chugging it and then she's like, what do you want? What would you like to eat? And she's looking at him while he's chugging it. So he's kind of like sitting there with the glass like this and he's like looking around like,
man, I haven't had chocolate
I know
milk
it's
in so
a
long.
Nazi has to so I'm like, we'll do 2 of Mama's Breakfast.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I don't really know if I like that name. Do I like it more than Breakfast Sampler? Sure, at least they committed to something, but Mama's Breakfast? And let me tell you, Mama's Breakfast is 3 gigantic pancakes, and then like the same plate they give you 5 pounds of pancakes on, they cut 2 eggs and some bacon on it. So it's like giant plate, and then also here's this other giant plate, but the presentation is just sad.
Plate was too big, definitely.
Way too big. I mean, I don't know. The food was okay. The pancakes were not bad. They're fine pancakes. You went to Cracker Barrel and say, just get the pancakes or the tinfoil corn on the cob thing, because there's the old guy next to us. Don't worry, we're gonna get to him. But the food all itself, I mean, the eggs were undercooked. It was just such a sad, quiet environment. And then next to us, the old guy next to us was sitting there. He was kind of like shaking, and he like looked over at us, and he just kept. It's just a peripheral thing. If you're watching this, turn your head again. Imagine having that. Keep turning your head. And then he would lift up his corn. Don't look back yet. Turn your head. I said turn! So then halfway through, we were sitting there. We were probably in there, what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes? Well, Nick took a while because he was shitting again, which I think we have tons of B-roll of that, so don't worry. But halfway through, his wife gets up to leave. She's gone.
The second we sat down, his wife
We
got
were
up.
maybe sat down for 2 to like 5 minutes. She got up and she's like, And I'm like, okay, well, she's definitely gonna let one loose. Big old thing of biscuits and gravy she ate. And I'm like, there it goes, you know what I mean? She sat there and got up and left, and I was like, she's fighting some demons as herself, whatever. Also, what did Nick say? Did he go to the bathroom twice?
Yeah, he said round 2.
Yeah, so so Nick went to the bathroom twice at Cracker Barrel. What happened the first time he went in?
Oh, a young man asked if they were in a band, if you guys are in a band.
Oh yeah, he was like in the bathroom thing, and a guy was like, hey, are you guys in a band? While the guy was washing his hands. And I'm guessing Nick was just squirting and being like, no. And then what happened the second time?
Someone sat down next to him, and he was letting him rip, the 2 of them.
That's right. He was sitting there, and there was a whole symphony of trumpets in the bathroom there. Because yeah, I think he has video footage of it. But the guy sat down next to him and did that truck stop bathroom thing in the toilet, and you hear like afterwards. Fuck. Which when he told me that at first, I thought that he was talking about the old woman who was sitting next to us. And I will say we did meet a very nice man who watched our stuff, and he's just like, and he said I controlled fire.
Excuse me. Are you? Yeah, how you doing? Good. It's good to see you. Good to see you too. I hear it a lot. Yes.
He was very nice, though. It was nice. The checkout was nice. We did have to be around the fucking haunting cat for a long time because Nick was shitting his pants. But we paid our tab when we left. All in all, I will say, it felt kind of on par with IHOP for me. Atmosphere-wise and all that kind of stuff. Elderly-wise. Oh, my God. Oh, and then also, the woman wasn't shitting. She was in the general store the whole time. What did she buy, you're probably wondering, in the general store? A jar of honey. 25 minutes of letting your husband
honey
eat
is
corn
so
alone
expensive.
to buy a mason jar of honey. Our bill also was $44.77, which actually beats the most expensive by 2 cents. Cracker Barrel was the most expensive.
Ooh,
Not going back there. Just want to say that. What are the points?
Everything got a 2.
So we got 2s across the board.
Except for the elderly, which got a 0.
The elderly got a 0. You have to when you're looking around. Once again, I hate to say it, there were just pockets of them, and I just felt I had this insatiable feeling that they were looking at me the entire time. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there and you're kind of like eating something, and you look up, like double take, you're like, look up, and like one of them's just across the room like this. And the guy next to us, it's just too much.
I couldn't tell if he was mad at me. He just kept
He was
staring
mad.
at me.
He was mad at everybody. I think it was his wife being gone the whole time.
All right, I want to watch
May
this.
have not seen very many Asian people as well.
It might have been.
You think it was a diversity thing? I didn't know they let Asians in here.
I consider it was. It was.
I think I already
Save that $40,000.
technically, I watched a lot of it.
All right, here's the
but-
deal. My wife dragged me into a Hobby Lobby, and I was in that store for all of about 30 seconds before I knew they were up to something. So I go home, I look into it, and what I found is so insane. I wasn't even mad. I was just impressed. All right, look, if you don't know, Hobby Lobby is the biggest arts and crafts
such
chain
great
in the United
videos,
States.
though.
Technically, Michael's has more locations, but Hobby Lobby makes way more money, so I'm calling them the biggest. Last year, they made $7.9 billion selling knickknacks and arts and crafts supplies. On top of that, they pay their employees $19.25 an hour minimum wage. On top of that, they donate 50% of their profits to charity, and then if you Google them, you find
kinda
out
cool.
they've been involved in more high-profile scandals than a Kennedy family reunion, including
Really?
smuggling religious artifacts into the United States and somehow turning them into a massive tax write-off. And we're going to get into all of it right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Supremacy World War III. Free. Just going to take this from the top. Let me set the scene for you so we can go on this voyage together. Wife drags me to a place called Hobby Lobby. It's in what appears to be an abandoned Kmart. We take 2 steps inside the door, and in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is clearly the knick-knack / gift shop area of the store. They've done what a lot of other places do, like Cracker Barrel, museums, tourist attractions. They have the little gift shop knick-knack area right by the doors so they can upsell you on the way in and the way out. That makes sense to me. Never really seen it in a department store, so that's kind of unique, but whatever. So we continue walking through the store, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this knick-knack gift shop area is enormous. And then we keep walking. And we keep walking, and the knickknacks just never fucking end. They're everywhere. And then it dawns on me, the entire abandoned Kmart I'm inside of is one giant gift shop. At this point, the logical side of my brain is like, there's absolutely no way. So I start picking up the pace. I walk every aisle. I walk the entire
I love his content. I wish he would do more of the Fat File stuff. It seemed
store,
pretty
progressively
kind of,
going into more and more of an existential crisis because there's
I know he
absolutely
has his
no
other
way
channel,
that an
but-
abandoned Kmart full of knickknacks is a profitable business. But that's it. It's the whole thing. It's nothing but knickknacks. So I just stop in the middle of an aisle. I pull out my phone.
Like
I
war
Google, how much money
history
does
and
Hobby Lobby
history
make
and shit, that's
annually?
fun, but I don't know.
$7.9 billion last year. There's no fucking way.
I don't believe you.
I've walked the entire store at this point. It's just knickknacks and arts and craft supplies. That's it. The entire store is literally an
But,
elderly.
like, what I like, what he does with the Fat Files is like so much more interesting because it's more like relatable to just common people. You know what I mean? Like when he did like Arizona Tea, that one was pretty good. I liked that one a lot. And what was the other one? I think he's done Buc-ee's, and then he did that weird. Was it like Casey's Pizza? That was
woman
good too.
throwing the world's biggest garage sale inside of an abandoned Kmart, and somehow
wish
they're
he would
making a shit ton of
upload
money. At this
more.
point, I'm thinking like, okay, they're selling
Yeah,
drugs
Costco
out the
is
back
good,
door
too.
or something. There's no way to logically explain this. So I get back together with my wife. She's got all the knickknacks and shit that she's buying. We go into checkout, and I'm standing in this checkout longer than I'm standing at the DMV. There's like 3 people in front of me. It takes fucking forever to get through this checkout line. So I asked my wife, I'm like, what is going on? What is taking so long? I don't understand. She's like, oh, Hobby Lobby always takes forever to check out at
Was it
because
like
they don't
Christian
use
owned or something
barcodes.
like
They have to
that?
type everything in by hand.
They have like really cheap Gundams, which is like what I like. It's like the only reason.
Okay, now at this point, I'm
Only
having a
reason I
full-blown
go
panic
there.
attack because I know that barcodes came out in the late 1940s because they were inspired
And their
by
nerd
Morse
area is
code,
pretty
and
cool.
some dude that worked on the Manhattan Project invented them right after World War II. And now it's 2025 and we're not using them inside of the store. There's no fucking way. I am 99% sure I died in a car wreck on the way to Hobby Lobby, and now I'm stuck in knick-knack purgatory. Okay, then I take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I think I'm alive. Okay, there's got to be an explanation for this. And I'm like, oh, obviously they're selling drugs out of the back, so it makes sense that they want to make checking out at this store as difficult as possible because they don't actually want to sell any of the fucking knickknacks because that's not how they make money. They make money off selling all the nose torque out of the back, right? So they're not going to want to sell the knickknacks, so that's why they make it as difficult as possible. Okay, it's got to be what's going on. So I finally get to check out. Very nice elderly woman there being my cashier. She's very polite. She's very friendly. I start full on interrogating this woman. I'm polite about it, but I'm like, do you like working here? And she's like, actually, I love working here. I've been here for fucking like 20 years. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, well, what do you like about it? And she's like, well, they pay us a lot of money for how hard the job is. So I like it. We get good benefits. The company donates 50% of its profit to charity.
I will say that like $19 an hour in today's economy is like not anything.
And I'm like, okay, well, they're not selling drugs here. That's weird. And I'm like, do you
I
mind
mean,
me
it's like-
asking,
it's like
how much
enough,
do they
but
pay
I
you
don't
guys?
know.
And she's like, well, I've been here for 20 years. I make
Well,
more
I mean,
than,
it is
more than a lot of people
retail.
here. But our starting salary is $19.25 an hour is our minimum wage here.
I'm serious.
I remember like when $19 was a lot. It's not anymore.
Okay, now I'm completely flabbergasted. I'm now absolutely positive that I did die in a car wreck on the way here, and I am in fact stuck in purgatory. And she finishes checking out. I pay for my stuff, and I was like, "Am I allowed to leave?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "If I walk out that door right now, it's not just going to turn into me walking back in, is it?" And she just looks at me like I'm crazy because I fucking am at this point. And she's like, "No." And then I walk out. I get in my car, and I fucking go home.
Or more.
All right, so here's what happened. 1970, the founder of Hobby Lobby, David Green, took out a $600 loan and started making custom picture frames in his garage. And apparently that business went pretty well because by 1972, he opened up a 300 square foot arts and crafts store in Oklahoma City. And then 2 years later, he opens up another one, and then another one, and another one. And the next thing you know, he's got 1,000 arts and crafts stores all over the United States of America.
What the fuck?
How is that
Really?
even possible? Well, in Oklahoma in the 1970s, when he was getting started, there was a
even know how you
humongous oil
survive.
boom, and that's where like the oil industry is primarily located, is Oklahoma and Texas. So everybody that was living in that area had a bunch of excess money.
That's
So
wild.
all the housewives and stuff were going and buying a bunch of arts and crafts and a bunch of
Even
fucking
when I
knickknacks.
was like working at like Albertsons back in the day when I was in high school, I made like 15 or 16, I think. But I don't know. It probably ranges state by state.
and it just made his business explode with the oil boom. And now,
But
hindsight being
Washington's also
2020, when
very
I'm not
expensive.
actively surrounded by all the knickknacks and arts and crafts, you're able to step back and actually analyze it. And the business model does really work because they're knickknacks, they're arts and crafts. They never go bad, right? Like, it's not like a perishable item at a grocery store that, like, I need to sell this by this time frame. Like, no, if I don't sell all the Christmas stuff this year, I'm just going to throw it in a box in the back and I'll pull it back out next Christmas season. We'll sell it then. So he really doesn't have anything going bad. He has no overhead as far as I'm going to lose this if I can't sell it right away. On top of that, I was correct. It was an abandoned Kmart. They literally go and seek out abandoned department stores to put Hobby Lobbies inside of to cut costs and overhead.
Yeah, spirit.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, it's actually the simplest business model on the planet. They just import a bunch of cheap shit from China, mark it up 10x.
It's kind of crazy. We just had like it's Burlington's. I don't know if that's like everywhere or not, but Burlington, what are they? It's like Burlington Co-Factory or some shit. Man, that business, I don't know how they're still around anymore. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, they just like recently downsized their building here. I think Burlington's going to go out of business, though. I mean, it's just insane.
Throw it on the shelf for a month. If it doesn't sell, they slap a 40% off poster on that entire shelf. Then people think they're saving money. They swoop in, they buy it all up, they assemble the arts and crafts themselves, and they sell it on Etsy.
That,
It's basically the spawn point for Etsy.
That's insane.
It's
like,
just
where,
the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Where are you going to get your crafts? I mean, I'm not a crafty person, but you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that are crafty as fuck, and like, where, like, what? Where are you going to get fabric and shit? Probably Hobby Lobby, I guess, but
concept. They picked one thing they want to be good at. They became the best in the world at it. Okay, David Green is the Michael Jordan of selling arts and crafts and knickknacks. That's all there is to it. So how on earth did he do it?
We went and checked out their like
nobody knows.
Going out of business sale, and I was like, oh gosh, I understand. I understand why you're going out of business, you know?
Including him.
No clue.
I literally read his entire book. It's called Leadership Not by the Book. And essentially, David Green is a super, super religious Christian man. He's
like
literally the son of a preacher. And he basically says that Hobby Lobby is owned by God. He's just looking out for it. So whenever he has a big business decision to make, he prays about it and waits for God to tell him what to do. And then he does it. And somehow it always works out. Like the dude is literally just running Hobby Lobby off of vibes and it's working. It's literally either got to be divine intervention or he's the luckiest man in the history of the planet. Now, his religious convictions are also what drove him to do what I would deem as a lot of pretty good stuff, like giving all of his employees a $19.25 an hour minimum wage and benefits. They also donate 50% of their annual profits to charity, which at face value is just good in general, but also if you're working at that company making well above
We're gonna like get to a certain point where like you can't, like, everything's gonna be out of business and you can't like go buy shit anymore. You have to do it online. I think that's where we're going.
Industry standard for being a cashier or a retail worker, and then you also get the added benefit of knowing that, like, hey, my company's making a bunch of money off my back, but a lot of that money's going back into charity.
Because the amount of shit that I buy on Amazon, like, it's crazy. Like, I never like really like thought about it, but man, I buy a lot from Amazon.
Some good in the world, so it's just good for
I was like, man, I need a shot vac. I didn't go to fucking I didn't go anywhere. I was like, Amazon, shop vac. Oh, Prime. Oh, Prime deals days. Hell yeah. Got a bunch of shit for the house. A lot of it's online. I buy a lot of stuff
overall
online
culture
nowadays.
of the company. And then, of course, they're closed on Sunday, which
these
regardless
stores,
of whether you're religious
I don't
or
know.
not, if you work in retail, you know you're always working weekends. So it's nice for the retail workers to get a weekend day off, to get the same day off as
Food's
the
a
rest
little
of
bit
society.
different, you know, but
now, those same religious convictions also get him in a bunch of trouble because they've had a ton of controversies.
But even
and I'm gonna be
like,
honest with you,
I mean,
the vast
the
majority
only
of them,
reason
in my
why
opinion,
I go
are
to
gigantic
Costco is
nothing
for dog
burgers.
food.
They're basically people looking for reasons to get upset.
You took
other than that, like,
from me.
I mean, it's just like food. I think it's just
Except
like
for that time they
food
got
that we
busted for
buy.
smuggling artifacts. That one was legit, but we'll get there. We'll just gloss over the other ones real quick. They got busted because they weren't selling enough Hanukkah stuff at
About
their
it.
Christian
Everything
arts and crafts
else, I'm
store,
like,
which,
I could find it cheaper on Amazon.
okay, like I'm willing to bet they weren't selling a lot of Muslim holiday stuff at the Christian arts and crafts store either. I don't go to Burger King and get mad they don't have fucking pizza. Like, you're looking for reasons to get upset. Okay, it's 2025. If a store doesn't have what you want, get on Amazon and order it. It'll be there tomorrow. Why are you picking?
That's
fights
what I'm
tonight?
saying,
Next
bro.
thing, they got in trouble over women's contraceptive with their insurance, and they actually took this case all the way to the Supreme Court. Like, David Green was willing to let Hobby Lobby go bankrupt and close all of them over this fight. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, but part of me is always going to respect a man that's willing
there
to
an
put his
echo?
balls on the line for what he believes in. So here's what happened. The birth control controversy gets played off like Hobby Lobby wasn't willing to pay for birth control with their insurance for any of its female employees. That's a partial truth. The actual truth is they weren't willing to pay for the morning after pill or the week after pill. All the other birth control was fine. Which, regardless of how you feel about it, that's on brand for an evangelical Christian. And whether that's right or not, I don't really have any strong convictions on, but I will say this, it seems very silly to take that court case all the way to the Supreme Court, spending millions and millions of dollars fighting for the right to force him to buy the morning after pill when the morning after pill is $10 fucking. You could have taken all the millions you spent trying to sue him into submission.
The thing, okay. I'll get into like a little political thing real quick. The thing that kind of drives me crazy right now with this like bill, like the what was it called? Like the Trump. What was it called, man? I forget what it's called. The big bill or whatever. All that shit. The big beautiful bill. Like, thing kind of like, some of it was okay, but the other thing is aren't they like cutting funding to like anything to do with Planned Parenthood? I think that's the thing. I was like looking into the bill, breaking it down, because I was like, Face Mace works like 50 hours a week. She gets like 10 hours of overtime every fucking week. And I was like, fuck yeah, you're not going to get like tax on it. But it's still bullshit because she has to, it's only for like your taxes when you go to claim it as a deductible, apparently. I thought it was going to be like your paychecks would be better, right? I was like, that's fucking, no, that's lame. Now, so she's still getting taxed. It's just going to be a deductible for overtime. Okay, that's one thing. Everything with what is it on tips? You know, that's cool, but it's still like on your taxes. It's not anything to. I thought they were just going to like cut the taxes from your paycheck. That seems that, you know, I think that would be better, but yeah, and then I was like digging deeper into it and I was like, man, they're like cutting everything. Like they're like cutting so much shit for people that, I mean, yeah, everyone's looking at like taxes, or not taxes, but like tips and overtime. And then there's all this other shit that they just like fucked everyone. And I was like, man, that sucks, man. That sucks. I don't think you should like pull funding from like Planned Parenthood. I mean, that's whatever. I don't know.
Bought every employee at Hobby Lobby 50 fucking morning after pills and gave it to them for free and just solved the fucking problem. And that's the majority of their controversies. They're all just culture war nonsense issues. But then we get to the religious artifact smuggling. All right, so before we get into this, I got to give you guys some background on like tax law and tax code, just so we're all on the same page. Some of this is going to be a review for a lot of you guys, but some of this is just misconceptions that people have. Okay, so first thing we have to understand is what is a tax write-off, because a lot of people think they understand it, they actually don't.
It's when you buy something for your business and the government pays you back for it.
Oh, and who pays for it?
Nobody. You write it off.
People hear tax write-off and they think, oh, that's money that they save right out of the gate. That's not really how that works. So I'm just going to give you a real life example to clear it up, okay? Hypothetically speaking, say that I make $100,000 a year.
Are you guys affected by it at all?
$1,000 to charity,
like the big,
okay?
Beautiful
People
bill,
seem to have
you
the
affected
conception
by it?
that now I have to pay $1,000 less
personally,
in taxes.
I'm not.
That's not how that works. So you didn't actually save $1,000. You saved $400 and donated $600.
I don't have state
Now it's like
assistance
normal
or anything
people
like
doing
that,
charitable
so it's
donation
like,
type
it
stuff.
really
But when
doesn't
rich
affect
people
me.
like billionaires and big companies, they have ways of getting tax write-offs that actually make them money. The most notorious and most famous is the fine art method. Okay, so if a company like Hobby Lobby, hypothetically speaking, comes along and wants to invest in some fine art. Say they go to a fancy New York art gallery and they buy a painting for $100,000 and they sit on it for 5 years. And then 5 years later, they hire some fancy art appraiser to come in and appraise this piece of art. And the art appraiser comes in and says,
that I
oh
don't
my God,
agree
this
with,
thing's absolutely brilliant. I think it's worth
I don't think like the homeless should get much shit, you know? Like I don't know. It's controversy, but
$1 million. Then the company can donate that artwork to a museum, and their tax write-off is not for the $100,000 they spent on the painting. The tax write-off is for the $20 million that it's appraised.
I've always
at.
been
so
more
they didn't
like
save
if you like
40%
live here,
of $100,000.
right?
They didn't save that $40,000 in tax write-offs.
Like
they
if you
saved
live here,
40% of
Should have
$20
some sort of
million
support.
in tax write-offs. So effectively, they
And
paid
don't fuck the
$100,000
veterans.
to get out of
I mean,
paying
what?
millions of dollars in taxes. Is that right? I have no idea, but it's absolutely 100% legal. Hobby Lobby decided they were going to do the same thing, but instead of buying fine art, they decided that they were going to buy ancient religious
The big
artifacts
beautiful bill,
because, well,
there's,
that's what
like,
they're
there's
into.
parts
They're
that I
evangelical
agree with
Christians.
and
they
parts
want to be
I
able to
don't.
buy all these Christian artifacts as an investment, and then they could donate them to a museum, make sure that those things are then preserved for history, and they
Well, I
get to
know
save
you
millions
are.
of dollars in taxes while doing it. It's a win-win as far as they're concerned. So in like 2010, they just start buying up all the biblical artifacts that they can find. They have no experience in buying this stuff, and when you buy something like this, there's like channels and ways that you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to, I don't know, make sure it wasn't fucking stolen from another museum, for example. They don't do any of the checks.
When
They
it comes to politics, I think I'm like ready for like a fresh start, right? I'm sick of like all this shit with Trump and like we need like someone else in there, you know what I mean? Like I'm fresh start.
were warned that they were going about this the wrong way. They just kept buying up thousands and thousands and thousands of artifacts, despite the fact they bought fucking chunks of the Dead Sea Scroll, which
Everything's
wound up
been
later
so,
to be
like,
fake because, again, they didn't
extreme.
hire the right people to help them do this. And they ended up
People
buying
fighting
all these
shit,
cuneiform
like
tablets out of
writing and all
Iraq,
that. Like, it's
including
fucking crazy.
the Dream Tablet, which is part of the Epic of
more
Gilgamesh.
like
The
like
Epic of Gilgamesh
fresh
is
start.
one of the first human stories ever written down from Mesopotamia
Hopefully
3,500
after
years
Trump,
ago.
but,
Like,
you
it's
know.
a pretty important artifact. It's literally like the Ark of the Covenant, Epic of Gilgamesh, and the Rosetta Stone. Like, it's crazy how important this artifact is, and they bought it. And oddly enough, it ended up being
We need,
looted
like, guys
from a
like
museum
this
in
as a
Iraq in
president. You know what I
2003,
mean?
And
Like-
they were not supposed to have it.
That belongs in a museum.
We do like normal people.
So around this point, the government gets involved and they start asking questions, at which point, Hobby Lobby kind of pleads ignorant. Like, oh, I'm just, a billionaire and I didn't know that I had to go through all these checks and balances to buy this kind of stuff. They basically play it off like, I didn't know any better, my bad, which, you know what? Maybe, but they shot themselves in the foot because when they imported them into the U.S., they had them labeled in U.S. Customs as ceramic tile
Just need,
samples,
like,
which
normal dudes
not
in
true.
politics.
So they ended up getting in a shit ton of trouble. They had to return the Epic of Gilgamesh and like 3,000 other artifacts over. They got returned to Iraq and Egypt, and they had to pay a $3 million fine. But there was a bunch of other artifacts that they did get to keep. And then with those artifacts, they had them appraised, and I was able to find that the average appraisal that they got was approximately 3 times what they actually paid for them. And then they donated them to a museum and got a huge tax write-off. And that is where most people quit digging because that was enough damning evidence, and most people just care about making Hobby Lobby look bad. I don't care about making Hobby Lobby look bad. I just want to know what the fuck happened. I like facts. I like the truth. So I asked one simple question. What museum did they donate them to? They donated them to the Bible Museum in Washington, D.C., to which I had one more question. Who owns the Bible Museum? Motherfucking David Green, the same one that owns Hobby Lobby.
What?
Do you understand
That's wild.
what I've just told you? Okay, dude literally became a billionaire by selling knickknacks and is like, you know what? I'm into religious artifacts. I'm going to start a collection because I'm a billionaire and I can do whatever the fuck I want, which, you know what? Good for you. That's great. He starts his little collection and then he's like, you know what'd be cool if I donated these to a museum, but also I'm a collector. Collectors like having their own shit. That's the whole point of collecting something. How can I possibly get a humongous tax write-off and also get to keep all my cool shit? Oh, I know. I'll just own the museum that I'm donating stuff to, so I still get to control everything. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but it's absolutely brilliant. Buh! So him being super religious is all just an act so he can look like a good guy, but he's actually not. Buh! No, that's not what that means at all. It is not hypocritical for a Christian to avoid taxes, okay? At no point in the Bible was Jesus ever like, hey guys, what if we gave the Romans more money? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not co-signing everything this guy does. I'm just saying I'm good at putting myself in other people's shoes to understand their perspective. And from a very, very Christian man's perspective, being able to give less money to the government so they can, I don't know, buy $60,000 missiles to shoot at people that live in mud huts so he can collect biblical artifacts, put them in a museum, preserve them for everybody else, and share them with the world, hopefully convincing more people to become Christian to save them, is probably a net positive from his point of view. I'm just just saying, you can call this guy a lot of things, but you cannot say he's not a legitimate, super devout Christian. Because at the end of the day, for better or worse, he was legitimately willing to close Hobby Lobby down over the Plan B thing, and he still gives away 50% of his profits to charity. Now, granted, some of that 50% of profits is him buying cool biblical artifacts and sticking them in his museum, but again, from his perspective, that's a good thing because he's sharing the word of God and trying to, help educate people and preserve it for mankind. Facts are facts, and whether you like it or not, this is 100% legal, and I usually, more often than not, subscribe to the theory of don't hate the player, hate the game. I need to start a World War II museum, buy a bunch of cool shit, and then donate it to myself and save a bunch of money. Anyways, thanks for watching my knick-knack-induced panic attack. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com.
That's
Quack, bang,
fun.
Out.
I just found out recently that Homeboy is like local to me. Where the fuck is his videos at? Oops. Yeah, I just found out this guy is like local to me. I need to go have a beer with him. He's been like in all this shit with
Just a couple days ago, on Wednesday, July 9th, Jimmy Corsetti and myself had the privilege of being on the Pierce Morgan Uncensored show next to Zahi Hawass. We were actually there.
He's
to
been
ask
like
him tough questions, which right off the bat, that's an honor and
like
a privilege,
trying to
man.
debunk
the community didn't
the
vote
fact
for me,
that
but I got enough subscribers and enough views on those kinds of videos that when Pierce Morgan
the pyramids are like,
hey, that's the guy to ask. He likes to throw
like
rocks at
12,000
archaeologists.
years old or some shit.
So that's an honor.
No,
Thank you
like,
for those of you who have helped me get.
He
to this
just
point.
went on Pierce.
It's also
Morgan.
a privilege because let's be clear. I know that there's at least 100,000 alternate researchers that would trade all their Pokemon cards, all their Fortnite dance moves, and maybe
cards,
even
that's
some of their
awesome.
kids for the opportunity to ask Zahi Hawass a few tough questions. And me and Jim took this responsibility seriously, and we did get to ask some tough questions. If I may toot my own horn, I think it went really well, especially that Zahi didn't rage quit. We were all able to end it fairly amicably, but we didn't pull any punches.
Did a good job.
You've probably seen it already. If not, there's a link down below.
I'm gonna have to go have a beer with this
there were
like
questions I wanted
bearded
to ask,
fuck.
questions that Jim wanted to ask too that we didn't get to, time constraints and all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and explain to you what those are here.